You ever wonder what really separates a decent speech from one that just blows you away? Well, today we're cracking open the official guide from the people who basically invented the modern public talk, TED. We're going to break down Chris Anderson's book, TED Talks, and pull out the absolute core tools that'll change how you think about public speaking for good. Okay, first things first. If the idea of standing in front of a crowd makes your palms get all sweaty and your heart start racing, you are not alone. Not even close. It's a super common fear. I mean, even legends like Warren Buffett and Princess Diana were at first absolutely petrified of public speaking. But they got over it, they mastered it, and the great news is, so can you. And this, right here, is why it's so worth it to conquer that fear. This quote just nails it. Public speaking isn't about some scary performance. It's about connection. It's a way for you to give a genuine gift to your audience, the gift of an idea that you care about. So let's reframe this. It's not a threat, it's an incredible opportunity. So where do we even begin? Well, the foundation of any truly memorable talk isn't about having flashy slides or a perfect polished delivery. Nope, it's something way more fundamental than that. This is it. This is the absolute heart of the entire TED philosophy. Your number one job as a speaker is to take an idea that means something to you, something you find fascinating, and then carefully rebuild that same idea inside the minds of your listeners. And it doesn't have to be some grand world-changing invention. It can be a simple perspective, a tiny insight, or a personal story that you just believe is worth sharing. Now, to make sure that idea actually sticks, you need what the book calls a through line. You can think of it like a rope or a central spine. Every single part of your talk, every story you tell, every example you give, every piece of data you share, it all has to connect back to this one, single, unifying theme. It's the path you're carving out for your audience to follow you on. And that path needs to be super clear. I love this exercise. Try to force yourself to boil down your entire message into 15 words or less. A through line like, more choice actually makes us less happy. See how focused that is? It's intriguing, and it gives you this perfect filter for deciding what goes in your talk. And just as importantly, what gets left out. This is so important. The goal is not to cram every single thing you know about a topic into one talk. The goal is to build one single powerful idea. You have to be absolutely ruthless. If a story or a cool fact doesn't directly support that through line you just created, it's gotta go. Trust me. Simplicity is your best friend here. Okay, so you've got your core idea locked in. How do you actually build it in other people's minds? Well, you need the right set of tools. But first, let's quickly cover the big mistakes, the traps you definitely want to avoid. Think of these as the 4 horsemen of a terrible presentation. The sales pitch is just taking from the audience, not giving. Pointless rambling just wastes everyone's time. The boring company talk, nobody cares unless they work there. And trying way too hard to be inspirational almost always feels fake. You gotta avoid these at all costs. And here's exactly why those traps fail so spectacularly. Before anyone is going to listen to your idea, they have to trust you. They have to feel comfortable enough to give you permission to speak to them. And that only happens when there's a real, genuine human connection. It is the absolute prerequisite for everything else. So instead of falling into those traps, you use these powerful tools. And these aren't tricks or gimmicks. They are just authentic ways to build a bridge from your mind to the minds in the audience. Let's just briefly touch on each one. Making that connection can be surprisingly simple. Actually making eye contact with a few different people. Don't be afraid to show a little vulnerability, to be a real human being. And using humor that is natural and authentic to you, not some canned joke. These little things can totally change the energy in a room. Stories. They are basically the oldest and most powerful app for our brains. But a good story isn't just this happened, then this happened. It needs a character we actually care about. It needs some kind of tension or mystery to keep us hooked. It needs just the right amount of detail to paint a picture, and crucially, a resolution that ties everything back to your main idea, your through line. Anderson has this great line where he says, knowledge can't be pushed into a brain, it has to be pulled in. And to do that, you always start with concepts your audience already gets. Then spark their curiosity, ask a why question. Then you introduce the new ideas one by one, using metaphors and examples to connect the new stuff to the old stuff they already know. Okay, you've found your idea. You have the tools to build it. Now for the final and maybe most crucial phase, actually preparing for the stage and delivering with real impact. This is the big question for so many speakers, right? Should you script your talk word for word, or should you just speak from a few bullet points? And as you can see, both have their pros and cons. A script is great for being concise and on time, but it can sound robotic if you don't practice it a ton. An unscripted talk feels way more authentic, but you run the risk of rambling. The real key is to pick the approach that makes you feel the most confident and comfortable. But, and this is a big but, here is the one rule that applies to absolutely everyone, no matter what approach you take. You have to rehearse, and then rehearse again. You rehearse until you know the material so well that you can stop worrying about the words themselves and start focusing on the meaning and the feeling you want to share. Seriously, there are no shortcuts on this one. Your first 30 seconds are absolutely critical. You have to give the audience a compelling reason to come on this journey with you. You could kick things off with a little drama, maybe pose a really provocative question, show them a jaw-dropping image, or just offer a little teaser of what they're about to discover. Whatever you do, don't waste that opening moment. Now, what's wild is that the ending of your talk has this outsized effect on how the entire thing is remembered. So you have to end with real intention. You could zoom way out to the big picture, making your idea feel vast and important. You could give a crystal clear call to action. Or you could do something really cool and circle back to your opening story, which feels so satisfying. The goal is just to leave them with this powerful, lasting echo of your core idea. And as we wrap things up here, this really gets to the book's most important message. All of this, these are tools, not rigid rules. There are hundreds of ways to give an incredible talk. The secret isn't to copy someone else's style. It's to find the authentic approach that works for you. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? This is the ultimate takeaway. Your greatest asset as a speaker is your own uniqueness. It's your personal experiences, your voice, your passion. The most powerful thing you can ever do on a stage is to just be yourself, sharing an idea that you genuinely, truly care about. So that leaves us with just one final question. A big one. After hearing all this, what is your idea worth spreading?